Okay, so we are going to start with the chapter called as a chemical equilibrium. Is it I'm audible? Okay, fine. So first we need to understand there's a two type of equilibrium, chemical equilibrium and a ionic equilibrium. So first we'll try to
Yeah.
understand the basic difference between these two, then we'll go ahead. Okay, just a minute. Equilibrium. Now we have there is two type of equilibrium mainly. See, the first equilibrium is the chemical equilibrium.
Yeah.
And the second one is your ionic equilibrium.
Right.
Now, first we need to understand what is equilibrium. Equilibrium is, in short, if I say you something like a balance.
Yeah.
Okay, so both the things are like in the same proportion. They are having the equal dominance. No one is dominating and other is like a no one is a recessive in the nature. If both the things are present in the same magnitude, that kind of reaction is called as an equilibrium. Just a minute. Uh, so now we'll have to see what is the difference between the chemical equilibrium and the ionic equilibrium.
Yeah.
Can you give me the basic difference between ions and chemicals?
For ions, they have a charge, and they only can form ionic compounds.
Yes,
And
yes.
for chemicals, they vary. They can be like only consisting of one element. And
And what else can be?
for chemicals, they can be simple covalent also.
Okay, okay, okay. I tell you, listen. See, if I give a reaction like this, N2 plus 3 molecule of H2 give you formation of ammonia. It is 2NH3.
Mm.
By the way, this process is called as a Haber process. You must have heard this. Haber's process.
Mm.
This is used for preparation of an ammonia. This is used for preparation, or I can say the synthesis. Synthesis and the preparation is a two different word. Synthesis is done in the large scale, and preparation is done in the laboratory, which we do in the lab. That is a very very small scale. So this is a synthesis of an ammonia. And now I
Okay.
will give you another reaction like this.
Mm.
You got a acetic acid, CH3 COOH. It undergo dissociation. There is a forward arrow, there is a backward arrow. You know, acid has a function to do. What acid does? Can you tell me? In the previous lectures, we have a
Acid,
discussion. What
you can
acid does?
dissociate.
Yes, it dissociates, and then what it gives you?
It will give you the H plus ion.
Fantastic. Now, see, when you talk about acid, here the acid is a acetic acid, and this is a weak acid.
Okay.
WA, I'm writing here, that is a weak acid. So once
Yeah.
it undergoes dissociation, it forms something like this: CH3 COO
Mm.
minus plus H plus, that is a proton. Now, if
Yeah.
you look at these two different reactions, if I give you this is the first one and this is the second one,
Mm.
there is an equilibrium. As I told you, when you say equilibrium, there is a balance. There is going to be forward and there is a backward react arrow will be there. So when I say the chemical equilibrium, now, in the case of chemical equilibrium, you will find there is a molecules are involved during the reaction. The
What do you
molecules are
mean?
involved. The
Okay. Okay.
molecules are involved in reaction.
Mm.
In reaction. So
Yeah.
such kind of equilibrium is called as a chemical equilibrium. Now, very
Mm.
important is the ionic equilibrium. So what is the ionic equilibrium? Ionic equilibrium.
Mm.
Now, if you see there is a acetic acid.
Yeah.
This is the molecule. Acetic acid is a molecule, and that
Mm.
too undissociated molecule. This is an undissociated molecule, and this is a dissociated ions.
Yeah.
So when there is a equilibrium between undissociated molecule and dissociated ion, that kind of equilibrium is called as an ionic equilibrium. See, I'm writing the definition here. When there is equilibrium between dissociated, undissociated molecule, undissociated molecule
Yeah.
and dissociated ions. Such equilibrium is called as ionic equilibrium. I hope you got the basic difference between the chemical equilibrium and the ionic equilibrium. Yes or no? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So now moving ahead, just our topic of discussion is the equilibrium, but we need to know there are different types of equilibrium. Here you will mainly talk about both the equilibrium will come in this particular chapter because they have not given you specifically chemical or the ionic. They have given you the combine both together. Now we'll talk about the types of reaction.
Yeah.
Types of reaction. Now, when you see the chemical reaction, now the chemical reaction can be reversible or it can be irreversible. So it can be a reversible reaction, and it can be irreversible reaction. Now, can you give me any example in day-to-day life which we see the irreversible reaction, which we see, even reversible reaction also you can tell me in day-to-day life.
Reversible.
In house we used to see that irreversible reaction when we bake this what is called cake.
Yeah.
So the raw material, once it got cooked completely, now you're not able to get back that raw material again.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting? So that kind of reaction is irreversible. Another example is like when we do you must have seen the curd.
Yeah.
Now when the milk gets converted into curd,
Yeah.
now you're not able to get it back milk.
No.
So these are the irreversible reaction. You cannot go into the backward direction. You will only go in the forward direction. The reaction which goes only in the forward direction, we call it is a.
It's going forward. Wait, what do you mean forward? Huh?
If there is only forward arrow, then we call it as a irreversible. Then there is a forward arrow and there is a backward arrow. Then we call it as a reversible. So this is a R and this is the IR. IR is like irreversible. Yeah. Now we'll put some more information about these two. Are you writing everything or you just you can take the screenshot of this?
Oh, okay.
If you are willing, you can take the screenshot then. Otherwise, you keep on writing the short note only.
Yeah.
So can I scroll up?
Yeah. Can. I got it all.
Okay. Now see, we'll see the few examples of reversible and the irreversible reaction. I will just give the difference of these two. Reversible reaction and irreversible reaction. Now see the first point which I can say about the reversible reaction. Now when if I give some information about this here, when reactant.
Yeah.
What is a reactant? The thing which is getting converted into product.
Yes.
When reactant and products are never consumed fully. Agree? Because they are like interchanging. One is getting converted. If I give the example like this, N2 plus 3 molecule of H2, this is another one more example. Here you are getting now when the nitrogen is getting converted into ammonia, at the same time you will find there is some amount of ammonia is getting converted into nitrogen and the hydrogen. So there is not a one side conversion, there is a both the side conversion. So what I can conclude, when reactant and the products are never fully consumed, they are not 100% getting consumed. Some amount of reactant goes forward and some amount of product goes come backward. Now I will give the example also. Let me put here the line. Now, if I ask you for what you say about irreversible from your understanding of irreversible, is it a unidirectional or it is a both the directional
For
irreversible?
reversible, it is goes in both direction. Irreversible goes in one direction only.
Okay, yeah, fine, fine. So I can say that it is unidirectional in the nature. Unidirectional in nature. It goes only in forward. Example that is very important. What is a combustion?
Conversion.
What is a
Combustion.
combustion?
Yeah.
What is it?
Um, we're forming carbon dioxide and
Yeah,
water.
fantastic. When you burn a hydrocarbon, like if I give you the very simple hydrocarbon like a CH4, when you burn in the presence of oxygen, what you are getting is a CO2 plus water.
Yeah.
CO2 plus water, and you get an energy. That's why we burn it. So we need to just balance it. The what is the balancing order of combustion reaction? When you do the balancing of combustion reaction, first you have to balance a C, then you will balance the hydrogen, then you will balance the oxygen. This is the balancing order. When you are
Yeah.
balancing any combustion reaction, you have to follow
Yeah.
this sequence only. So can you give me the number of carbon here? On the reactant side, it is one,
Uh,
and
one
product side,
carbon.
yeah, product is also
Yeah, two
one. So
hydrogen.
carbon is balanced. Now we
Yeah.
need to check the hydrogen. Here, how many hydrogen is there? Four.
There's four left.
So we will
Two on
multiply here by 2.
yeah, two.
Now we need to check
Two.
the oxygen. Here 2 oxygen, and on the product side we got how many oxygen?
Two. There's two oxygen.
4.
Only.
So we'll just multiply here by 2.
Two.
So this is the balanced reaction. I just want tell you that this is the irreversible. Once the methane got converted into CO2 and the water, you're not able to get it back methane gas.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apart from that irreversible example, I have given you this just now. Baking of a cake.
Mm.
These are a few day-to-day life example which we see in our house, how we are able to do the conversion, and that too it is irreversible. Now coming back to the reversible reaction. Now this is very important. Yeah, you must have seen in the chemistry lab CuSO4. Now CuSO4, what is the color of CuSO4?
Copper to sulfate. I think green.
It is bluish green.
Bluish green.
Okay, mainly it is like a blue only, but sometimes we get a green also in that.
Yeah.
So we just have to see why it is a reversible reaction. There is the basically this copper sulfate is found in a white powder form. So when blue, there is hydrated CuSO4
Yeah.
is heated.
Mm.
So when you put a CuSO4 in water, then you get a blue color. When it is not in the water, you're not able to get a blue color. It is like a white color, and white color is a combination of all the 7 colors. So when the blue hydrated copper sulfate is heated,
Mm.
it changes to white. It changes to white. That is, it is it is anhydrous. It is anhydrous. So what is the meaning of anhydrous? There is a moisture. It is a moisture free. There is no more moisture. So when you heat the hydrated copper sulfate, the water which was present in that salt got vaporized, and now it got a anhydrous. So the
Mm.
anhydrous have a different color and hydrated have a different color. The anhydrous have a white color,
Mm.
and your hydrous had a blue color. So if I give the reaction here, it is like this way: CuSO4 dot 5H2O. When you are heating this, it is getting converted into CuSO4 plus whatever the your water is there, it will get vaporized and it give you 5H2O.
Yeah, yeah.
So we are trying to understand, is it reversible or it is irreversible? So what you conclude from this reaction? Can we get it back?
Yeah, you can. You can add the water backward.
Yes, we can add a water again into this CuSO4, so we are able to get it back. So when I
Yes.
give you this example, when I'm talking about is it reversible or irreversible, so it is a reversible because this is a hydrated CuSO4, that is copper sulfate, and this is anhydrous. This is anhydrous, that is moisture free, and the color
Yeah.
of this compound is here right now. It is a white, and the hydrated one is having a blue. So what I can do now, I can just do the reverse. I'm just converting the same reaction here only. If I go reverse, I start from the product side, CuSO4, and I'm adding here 5H2O.
Yeah.
So it is going to give you the reactant only here. That is like a CuSO4 dot 5H2O. So what I mean to say that I can convert the white compound again into the blue color compound.
Correct.
Initially I did conversion of blue color into white color. Now I'm doing the conversion of white into blue. So just I'm
Yeah.
able to do the reversible conversion, forward as well as a backward arrow. So that kind of reaction is called as a
Reversible reaction.
reversible reaction. So I hope you got the concept of what is a reversible reaction and what is an irreversible reaction. Is it clear?
Better.
Okay, just let me ask you one question. If you got your table salt, the salt which we eat, if you put into the water, is it reversible or irreversible?
It's reversible because you can evaporate it to dryness. Or you
Fantastic.
can...
We can evaporate the water and we can get back the salt. Good.
Yes.
So now I will give you one more example. Have you seen the color of iodine? What is the color of iodine?
Reddish brown.
This is violet.
Oh, okay.
Bromine is a reddish brown.
Oh.
Bromine is a reddish brown. And then what about the chlorine? Chlorine is like a bleaching. It is the very faint. It's very faint color, faint greenish, like very faint. But we are not able to predict with the neck. We are not able to see is it chlorine or not. And we use the chlorine into the swimming pool for oxidizing.
Yes.
Okay, so I will give you the reaction like this. Hydrogen plus iodine is getting reacted and we are getting something like a 2 molecule of HI. Now here hydrogen is a gas, iodine is also gas, HI is also a gas.
Yeah.
Now what is going to happen? Is it a reversible reaction or irreversible reaction? What do you say? No, by looking at the reaction only, I can say it's reversible because there's a forward arrow and there is a backward arrow.
Backward arrow, so you can say.
There's a forward and there is a backward. So when they ask you when it is a forward, see when the formation of HI, that is a hydroiodic acid. HI is called as a hydroiodic acid.
Yeah.
When there is a formation of hydroiodic acid, we are making it as a forward reaction. And when there is a decomposition,
Yeah.
when there is a decomposition of hydroiodic acid into H2 and I2, we call it as a backward. We call it as a backward reaction. So I hope you got it reversible in the nature, because in the exam they give you the reaction, they ask you is it reversible or irreversible. So what student can do by looking at the reaction arrow, he is able to predict is it reversible or irreversible. Now moving ahead, I will give you one more example. In the soft drink, which acid is found? Can you tell me? Carbonic acid. Fantastic. Now the carbonic acid, how we are able to synthesize carbonic acid in lab or in home? Can you do it?
I don't think so.
How?
Oh.
See,
Dissolving carbon dioxide in water.
fantastic. By dissolving carbon dioxide, CO2 plus water get
Yeah.
mixed, and that give you something called as a H2CO3. This H2CO3 is called as a carbonic acid. This is
Yes.
called as a carbonic acid. Now, when CO2 gas,
Hmm.
when CO2 gas is getting converted into water, CO2 aqueous.
Yeah.
So the meaning of gas and aqueous is like you are putting CO2 gas into the water.
Yeah.
Here I have written here aqueous,
Hmm.
AQ. What it mean aqueous? It is like a CO2 plus water only. Aqueous means this only.
Hmm.
So the CO2 gas conversion into CO2 aqueous is the forward.
Correct.
Now, when you open the soft drink bottle, when you remove the bottle, the cap, you get a brisk effervescence. Yes or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what happened by that when you're removing the cap of bottle, the release of gas is happening.
Hmm.
So, whatever the CO2 gas was dissolved into water
Yeah.
gets released or gets evaporated. I can say that release is the correct word. So that is a backward reaction here. Yes or no? If you
Yeah.
see CO2 aqueous, CO2 aqueous
Hmm.
is like a CO2 plus water only.
Yeah.
So when you open the soft drink bottle, you experience there is a evolution of the gas is happening.
Hmm.
The gas is which was initially CO2 aqueous. Now it is in the form of CO gas, CO2
Yeah.
gas.
Yeah.
So I mean to say that the forward, when you are putting CO2 plus water, this is called as a forward reaction. When you are
Yeah.
removing CO2 from water, it's called as a backward reaction. I hope you
Yeah.
got the basic difference between the yes or no.
Yeah. I did.
Okay. Okay. Now we'll move ahead and we'll talk about a few characteristics of the equilibrium. So first we need to understand what is an equilibrium. We have a discussion of that already. Let
Yeah.
me scroll up. Now we'll see characteristics of an equilibrium.
Hmm.
So this is the important concept for any chemistry exam.
Hmm.
Characteristics of equilibrium. Now see, if I give you a simple example like H2 plus I2 give you 2HI, or I can give you another example like N2 plus 3H2 give you formation of two molecule of ammonia gas. So
Hmm.
these are the reversible reaction. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now what we are going to do, we'll talk about the few characteristics of the equilibrium. The first thing which I can talk about this is the equilibrium is always obtained in a closed system. Equilibrium, this is a
Hmm.
very important point. Equilibrium is always obtained
Hmm.
under a closed system.
What do you mean by closed system?
Yes, I will tell you. Closed system. It's just like there are mainly three type of system: open system,
Hmm.
closed system,
Yeah.
and then isolated system.
Okay.
Now, if I give the example, what is the meaning of an open system? You have taken a like this green tea.
Hmm.
It's warm.
Yeah.
So when you put in the cup, green tea plus cup, you'll find the vapors are getting removed.
Yeah.
So when the vapor gets vaporized, the amount of green tea will decrease or increase.
Will decrease.
it will decrease because the water is getting vaporized. So when there is a loss of matter, when there is a loss of matter, because water is a matter only, you must be knowing what is a matter.
Hmm.
So when the matter is getting lost, and one more thing,
Yeah.
do you find the green tea gets cold, or it is like it remains hot only on the all the time?
Yeah, it gets cold after a
It's
while.
it gets cold if you're keeping in an open atmosphere. So the matter gets lost, plus heat is getting also lost.
Yeah.
Heat is also lost. So when there is a loss of matter as well as a heat, that kind of system is called as an open system. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Now we'll talk about the closed system. Now you do the same green tea into, you
Hmm.
keep the green tea in a closed bottle. Now when you put in the closed bottle, you are able to see the heat is going to lost or not.
No,
It's like
there
it's
will
a
be heat loss but
conductor.
not.
Heat, if you keep a water into the any metallic glass, you will
Hmm.
find the initially the bottle was warm. After a few minutes you will find the glass is like a normal room temperature.
Yeah,
So do you think heat is going to get lost or heat will be intact?
it will be lost.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will be lost. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Heat is lost. And what about the amount of green tea? Is it going to remain same, or it will decrease, or it will increase?
Amount of green tea will stay the same because the water vapor can condense and then fall back.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be the same. Neither there
Hmm.
is an increase nor decrease. So when
Hmm.
there is a only loss of heat is happening, when there is a loss of heat is happening, now the matter is not getting increase or decrease.
Yeah.
The matter is the same. So
Yes.
when the matter remains the same, there is neither loss or gain. That kind of system is called as a closed system. Now I will tell you the what is an isolated system also. You must have seen the thermos flask.
Yeah.
Now when you put any warm water or milk or anything which is warm, it remains warm or it gets cooled.
Yeah. Correct.
It, it remains warm only. So the
Hmm.
a system which keeps the heat, a system
Hmm.
which retain its heat plus matter. So that kind of system is called as an isolated system. I hope you have got the idea of these three systems.
Yeah.
So I was giving you the first characteristics of equilibrium. You
Hmm.
asked me what is a closed system and what it means. You must have
Yeah.
seen any cylinder fitted with filled with a gas.
Yes.
Unless there is a no closed cylinder, you are not able to feel the pressure.
Hmm.
If you want to feel, let me scroll up. For pressure
Hmm.
to be experienced, gas should be held in closed container. Yes or no?
Yeah.
If the container is open, you are not able to get it.
Yeah.
And one more thing, you asked me what is the meaning of closed system and why we keep it closed system.
Yeah.
Now, if the system was not closed, if the system was open, so what was getting lost? Can you tell me?
There was in the open system or closed.
Open, open.
In the open one, you are losing heat and you are also losing matter.
Yes, fantastic. So if I give you this reaction, if you just focus on this particular reaction, which I have written here on the initially, if you focus on this reaction, if I do this conversion in an open container, do you find I'm able to hold the gas? Do you
Hmm.
think
Yeah.
we are? is that we are able to hold the gas in an open container. You cannot
Yeah.
hold the ammonia gas in an open container. You cannot hold the hydrogen gas. So when you do the conversion, whatever the product is getting produced, if that product gets lost in an atmosphere, so there is no effect of equilibrium. So one thing get automatically reduced because it got in atmosphere. So if you want to do the reaction in an equilibrium, so whatever the product and reactants are there, they has to be in a closed container. If the container is open, some amount of gas will get lost. So I hope you got it why we are keeping a closed system.
Yes.
Yes, you got it?
But how is this like some characteristic though?
Can you repeat?
How is it like a characteristic of equilibrium? That I don't understand. Why?
Characteristic is like if you don't keep a closed system, it is not going to be the, first of all, equilibrium is not going to be attained. If you want to get an equilibrium to achieve, the first and most criteria is the system has to be closed. If I give you another example, just a minute. If you heat a calcium carbonate, calcium carbonate like this. Now the calcium carbonate is like a solid. This is a solid.
Yes.
When you heat, then you get a something like a calcium oxide plus CO2. Now calcium oxide is a solid and the CO2 is the gas.
Yeah.
Now if you do this conversion, like if I have taken this container which is filled with a CaCO3, now I'm heating it. After heating, what I'm getting here is the calcium oxide plus CO2. You imagine what I'm initially the equilibrium says the amount of product and amount of reactant should keep on interchanging, should keep on interconverting.
So it's a reversible?
It's reversible because when there is a when there is a, you are not able to get a reversible reaction, you cannot apply equilibrium. Whenever there's an equilibrium, there has to be forward and the backward arrow.
Okay.
So here, if you keep the container open, so which gas is getting released?
You're releasing carbon dioxide.
So once the carbon dioxide got released, do you think the product is able to maintain its own composition?
No. Oh, okay.
So the both the side composition has to be intact. They just keep on interconverting each other.
Yep.
Okay, I hope you got it.
Yeah.
So now
one more question though.
Okay, just okay.
Yeah.
Is it done?
No. Does it necessarily have to be gas particles, or it has to be like it can be solid or liquid also?
Yeah, there can be anything, solid, liquid. If you have a gas, then you need it.
Oh, okay.
If it is like a liquid, it is not getting vaporized unless you don't heat it. So we always want a closed container mainly for gas. Okay. Now, the second characteristic of equilibrium is that very important. It is dynamic in the nature. It is dynamic in the nature. Now, what is the meaning of dynamic? I tell you. Have you heard something called a static? What is a static?
No.
You must have heard in the physics, static charge.
Oh, static charge. Yeah.
Stationary. The charge which is at rest. The charge at rest is called as a static charge. So if a reaction is under the motion, is under the rapid interconversion, if I say like this way, A plus B give you something like a C plus D. So I can say that it is dynamic in the nature. What is the meaning of dynamic? Dynamic, it's keep on it's keep on changing.
Yeah.
It does not remain static. I hope you got the meaning of dynamic in the nature. As I told you at the beginning only, equilibrium is like a conversion of reactant into the product.
Yes.
So it keeps on happening. So that's why we are calling it as a dynamic in the nature.
Always occurring. Okay.
Now the third characteristic of your equilibrium is a concentration of concentration of reactant and a product remains same,
Yeah.
or I can say the constant, because whatever the concentration of reactant is getting this decrease. See, if this example I'm taking, N2 plus
Mm.
3 molecule of hydrogen, it give
Yeah.
you 2 molecule of ammonia. So
Yeah.
whatever the concentration of nitrogen will decrease, the same amount of your this will getting produced, because they are like a, whatever the nitrogen and hydrogen is going decrease, the same amount will appear in the form of product.
Mm.
So that kind of characteristic is shown by any equilibrium reaction. If it was not an equilibrium reaction, so if it was like a very simple reaction like AgNO3 plus HCl, so I can get like this AgCl. That
But
is,
won't the product concentration be zero at first?
concentration is,
Concentration for the product, won't it be zero at first?
see, your doubt is like why the concentration remains the same.
Yeah.
See, what is the meaning of concentration?
Mole per dmq was
Moles
it?
per volume
Yeah.
is in the DMQ. This is a concentration formula.
Mm.
So now the whatever the amount of this is getting decreased as
Yeah.
the nitrogen is decreasing, so it goes forward.
Yeah.
At the same time, this is getting backward also. They parallel keep on interchanging. So there is a nitrogen and there is a hydrogen. So they will be remain the same which we had taken in the beginning. Only there is a
Mm.
conversion is happening, and we don't know how much time it is taking for the this nitrogen and hydrogen to get converted into the product and what time it will get back. So just I mean to say
Okay.
that whatever the concentration you had taken at the beginning,
Mm.
the concentration of reactant and the concentration of product will remain constant throughout the time till the reaction is happening in a closed container.
Okay.
I was giving you one example. AgNO3, there is a silver nitrate. Now silver nitrate gets react with the hydrochloric acid.
Mm.
We form a AgCl, silver chloride plus HNO3. There is a nitric acid.
Yes.
So now the white PPT, the moment you got a white PPT here, the concentration of reactant will not constant, will not remain constant. Concentration, reactant
Mm.
concentration will decrease as time is increasing,
Yeah.
because as the time is increasing, the reaction is happening. A time will come, the concentration of this AgNO3 will be like a zero, and this will be also zero, and this will be like 100%. But it does not
Yeah.
happen. There is never 100% conversion is happening. There
Yeah.
is no reaction which give you 100% product.
Mm.
But initially, the concentration of reactant was 100%, and the product was how much?
The product was zero first.
Zero. As the reaction goes, the reactant gets zero, it is
Yeah.
tending towards zero, and
Yeah.
product is getting converted towards 100. So this is not a equilibrium. First of all, this condition is not for equilibrium.
Yeah.
Equilibrium, the upper one is valid for equilibrium condition, where you are able to see there is a forward and a backward. So whatever the concentration of reactant is at the beginning,
Mm.
it will be at the, as the time is proceeding, the concentration of that reactant and the product will be as it is. There is no change, because whatever is getting disappeared, same amount gets back from product.
Oh.
Now moving ahead, the last characteristic of chemical equilibrium. Is it
Yeah.
done? You want to
One
write?
second. You go up. I need to take the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Now we'll talk about fourth, the fourth this characteristic of an equilibrium, rate of forward reaction.
Right.
Rate of forward reaction.
Hmm.
Rate of forward reaction is same as rate of backward reaction.
Yeah.
Now, what it means? It means that when you compare anything with respect to time, then we introduce the term rate.
Hmm.
When you try to compare anything with respect to time, if I have given you something like this, the same reaction I will take it here, N2
Hmm.
plus 3 molecule of H2 give you
Yeah.
2 NH3.
Hmm.
So the rate of forward reaction is like whatever is the time is taken for converting reactant into product
Yes.
at the same speed, at a same speed, at a same speed, product will also get converted into reactant. Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the meaning of rate? I just want to tell you the rate of forward reaction is like whatever the time was taken for reaction to go forward direction, the same
Yeah.
amount of time will be taken for reaction to get backward.
Hmm.
So can you tell me what are the few characteristics of equilibrium?
Characteristics of equilibrium.